What command are you thinking of using today? All this talk about Commander 2013 made me decide to build and bring Marath Will of the Wild. You just got done telling me that pre-release Marath was over the top broken and release Marath was terrible. While pre-release 2013 Marath was OP, what we got is still strong. I'll start the game by playing a Tree of Tales. I'll use that to cast Hardened Scales, letting me put an additional +1/+1 counter on creatures. I'll cast Mana Crypt, a Mox Opal. I'll tap the Crypt to play Cryptic Trilobite, which will enter with one +1/+1 counter plus an additional from Hardened Scales. I'll pass the turn. Good turn. I'll draw. I'll play an island. I'll cast a Mox Opal, a Mana Crypt, Lotus Petal. I'll tap the Mox Opal to cast a Soul Ring, tap the Crypt, Soul Ring, and sack Lotus Petal to cast a Gilded Lotus. Then I'll pass the turn and see what's up. I'll draw. I'll play a Plains for my land. I'll tap the Plains to cast Silence. My opponent can't cast spells. I mean, I have the Force of Will and a blue card, but I guess I have no choice but to let it resolve. Do your worst? Silence resolves, and I'll exile Simian Spirit Guide for red mana, tap Tree for green, tap Mox Opal for white, and I'll cast my commander Marath Will of the Wild. It'll enter with 4 +1/+1 counters due to the amount of mana spent to cast, and 1 additional from Hardened Scales. I'll tap Mana Crypt for 2 generic mana. I'll use 1 of it to activate Marath's ability to remove a +1/+1 counter, and put 1 +1/+1 counter targeting Marath. Marath can target itself? Oh, no way. With Hardened Scales, this puts that counter back on, plus an additional. Marath has 5 +1/+1 counters on it. I'll use the floating 1 generic to use Marath's ability again to remove a +1/+1 counter, but this time targeting Trilobite, adding 2 +1/+1 counters to it. I'll activate Trilobite's ability, removing a +1/+1 counter to add 2 generic mana to my mana pool, using it only to activate abilities. Now I've created a loop of continuing to add counters to Marath and Trilobite. So once you reach critical mass of +1/+1 counters, you can just remove them all from Trilobite to add infinite colorless mana and hit me for infinite damage, right? Yep, infinite +1/+1 counters, infinite colorless mana to activate abilities, infinite creature tokens, and infinite damage, all using Marath's ability. GG.